Well, first of all, I want to say this. We just beat a very good basketball team. We talked about before the game that they muddy the game up or make the game ugly, and I mean that complimentary in every sense of the word, because they make you earn every basket. And they're a great transition defensive team. They don't give up easy scoring opportunities, and our team is really good in the open floor. So you take that away from us and make us earn every basket in the half court like we had to tonight, it's going to be a struggle. And I thought that, again, the credit goes to UTEP for playing great defense. I thought that our guys in the second half, two things. Number one, we became a little more aggressive off the dribble that led to open shots. And our press, even though we didn't turn them over a ton, kind of wore on them. They were starting offense later in the shot clock. Some of their shooters, in my opinion, had pretty good looks at times. Didn't knock them in, and you'd like to think our press maybe took their legs away a little bit late in the game. But it's a hard-fought game, and I thought our kids showed a lot of resiliency when things weren't going our way offensively, of finding a way to get over the hump.
Brooks, again, stepping up there late, his outside shot seemed to make a difference.
Well, you know, I think he was, what, 0 for 6, 0 for 7 to start, and made his last 3 or 3 of his last 4. And, you know, one thing I've said about Gerald, he's a typical New York kid. You know, he's cocky and arrogant and kind of loud, but in a good way. You know, he's a guy that's not afraid to take the big shot, and he's made a bunch of them. Going back to Georgia early in the year, and you know, go right on down the list, he's made big shots. But the biggest thing is he's not afraid to take them, and his teammates did a good job of getting him the ball.
Was there defensively for UTEP? Were they doing anything to kind of slow y'all down, or?
No, you know, I just think the biggest thing in the first half, we couldn't score to get into our press, and then our press sometimes will lead to runs or spurts, and we never had that spurt or that run in the first half. And you know, I thought we missed some some open, uncontested shots the first half, but also they're just very, very position conscious. You know, they're one of those teams, again, that they don't let you get out and transition and convert. They're a very good transition defensive team. And then in the half court, they really kind of converge on the ball in the paint, and you got to make jump shots over them. They double the post, so it's hard to score the ball from the post. And when you drive it, they converge. So when you tell our guys all week, drive it to pass, and they get in the paint and they're kicking it out. And we just weren't making some shots the first half, but they're just sound. They make you earn every basket.
Go ahead. NC2A tournament talk. Guys say they don't talk about it much. It's kind of within y'all's control if y'all play well down the stretch. What do you tell these guys in terms of?
Well, you know, we talk about it once a week on Sundays, or to start Monday, whatever day is the beginning of our week. That particular week, we'll talk about where we sit in the league, where we sit in RPI, and then we don't harp on it. You know, we understand. At this level, you know, when I was in the OVC, it was basically those 3 days in March. So every game was important for seeding purposes, but you had to play well 3 days in March or you weren't going to NCAA. At this level, it seems like we've been playing a conference tournament game the last 8 or 9 games, because you just understand how important every game is. And so I think our guys feel it, or at least know about it, but we don't want to make it a pressure situation or harp on it too much, because the bottom line, you got to win, and our guys know we have to win.
At the same time, how important is this Saturday?
Oh, it's huge. Absolutely. If you go to Memphis and we're able to get a win, then obviously your percentages of getting in as a at-large team, if you don't win the tournament, go up dramatically. But on the flip side, we know what we're in store for. That's a team that beat us double figures here on our home floor, and it's going to be even tougher, obviously, in their building.
You've been a grinder. I mean, these kids are pretty mentally tough, but this one was truly a grinder tonight.
Yeah, it was, and we knew it was going to be coming in, Tim. I'm telling you, we preached for 3 days that it wasn't going to be pretty. They're going to make us earn every basket. It's going to be about defending and rebounding the ball. And, you know, you think about it. We get to the foul line 3 times. They only get there 8. You know, we each held each other to single-figure offensive rebounds. I mean, there were some bodies hitting each other out there as a physical, hard-fought game, and it was what we expected. Again, I'm proud of my guys that they just stepped up and made 1 or 2 more plays than UTEP did.
How important was it to win a game like this for you guys?
Well, I've said this all year. we've won a lot of different ways, which I think is a sign of a good team. We've won 82-80, we've won 45-39, we've made 12 threes to beat SMU, we made 1 3 to beat East Carolina, we got to the foul line 30 times some game, we've got to the foul line 10 times in others, but our team just finds a way. You know, we like to play in the open floor, we like to play up tempo, but tonight was like an NCAA tournament game. It was like a conference tournament game, a half-court dominated, very, very physical, and we found a way to win. So I think it's good from that standpoint. It's one more way that we've found a way to win a game.
Coach, you always say it doesn't bother you to play small, but going down the stretch, do you think that's going to catch up to you guys? Because you were out rebounded by about 5 in the first half, and they were beating you guys up a little bit.
Yeah, they were, and I thought, you know, obviously in a perfect world, we'd like to be 6'10", 6'8", 6'7" across that front line. Through recruiting, maybe someday that'll be the case, but at the end of the day, we still out-rebounded that team by 3, which is pretty impressive considering at times you go, you know, Dwayne at 6'4" at the 3, Richard at 6'2" at the 4, and Mills at 6'4" at the 5. So it's grit and toughness, and maybe helping to answer that question is 3 straight games. If we were fortunate enough to do that in a conference tournament, it could certainly take its toll.
Now, a lot of different ways you guys, like you were saying, come through with victories and a lot of different players doing things in different ways. Can you talk about how important that's going to be down the stretch?
Well, I think it's huge. You know, when you think about it, we've played 10 guys basically all year. Now with Mike Craig out, it's been 9. And every guy on our team, with the exception of Deion Edwin, who's had 8, has scored double figures in at least 1 game this year. So different guys have stepped up, different guys have taken their turn to play well. And, you know, with Mike being out, I think it's another perfect example. Richard, he didn't score a lot tonight, but he played 22 minutes. He was good in our zone defensively, had the right slides, guarded the dribble pretty well. You know, Dwayne's been fantastic the last 3 games. He didn't play quite as well tonight. But Gerald steps up, Neil steps up. It's been by committee. That's our team this season.